okay, so Linus calls here. So basically, he really doesn't want to bust. So that's there's a lot of incentive not to make the pot big. Plus he's out of position. Plus the ante is big. So I think limping here makes a lot of sense. I don't think he should be doing much raising, if any. Charlie is gonna, he's gonna pressure Linus a decent amount depending on the stacks. 9-8 is hand you sometimes want to raise, not always. So he RNG'd it in his head or had a live read. Linus is limp and probably check behind. So ace 10-7 rainbow. This board is obviously better for Linus than for Charlie, right? Because if Linus has a good hand, he's gonna limp it, or at least sometimes. But if Charlie has a really good hand, he's always raising. So Linus is gonna have more top pairs, more two pairs, more sets, and stuff like that. So Linus can be quite aggressive here. So he decides to bet small, 1/3 pot. 7-6 is a decent hand to be betting. Just betting for protection. Sometimes turning your hand into a bluff on later streets. Trying to get Charlie off like a 10 or even a weak ace. Seems good to me. So Charlie's gonna raise sometimes here. Depending on the implications, he's gonna raise more. He's got basically this hand is sometimes gonna get raised, sometimes gonna get called. He does have the best draw on the deck, having the only open ender possible. So, obviously since his draw is pretty good, he's gonna raise his hand more often than, let's say, like 8-6 offsuit. So let's see what happens.
With 3 players remaining, the action folds around Linus in the small blind, and he completes with 7-6 off. Charlie checks with 9-8 off, and the flop comes ace 10-7, giving Linus bottom pair and Charlie an open-ended straight draw.
Okay, so here already this is way off. First off, this is so far off. This is ridiculous. He's saying that. This is just his range. Yeah, this is his limping range. He's assuming that Linus doesn't limp with an ace other than ace king offsuit. I don't know why. He just picked like a random limping range, right? Most likely, what almost every high six tournament reg does is limp only here. So that already changes things. Linus is not limping jack deuce offsuit here. He isn't. He really loves the offsuit deuces. This is just way off. So, 50% check. Yeah, sure. You can set up any sim and have it check 50%, but this is not correct. What you'll see happen is that when you input the correct range, Linus is probably going to bet more, and it's gonna lean more towards the smaller sizing. So yeah, let's skip this analysis. I just want to see what happened in the hand. So combination of, if he raises, it's probably something to like 750 or 800k. But I expect him to be calling. So yeah, got called. So we get the 10 here. Linus is sometimes betting a 10 on the flop, sometimes checking, unless he bets his full range. Obviously, then he's always betting. So this is a hand you just want to check. Your hand is just too strong to be turning into a bluff. You could maybe bet your hand for protection, let's say, just to get him to fold like jack 9 offsuit. But I think this hand is just usually a check. Especially having a 6 hurts you a bit because, now you block some hands like 9-6 that fold. Check by Linus.
Yeah, I like the bet because 10 would just call flop. 10 would bet the turn, 10 would never check. You gotta keep
So Charlie bets 715, 1.25. I think this is a pretty good play. If Charlie has a 10, he's checking behind pre-flop a decent amount. He's calling the flop basically always. He's not really raising, he's not folding. So he's gonna have a lot of trips here. He mostly wants to bet them. Obviously you want to check behind sometimes. So having a high equity draw is nice. Also you have the 9 of spades. So you're gonna be, if the river is a spade, you can bluff a bit more easily. A bit more effectively. So I think Charlie's play is good here. I like the fact that he bet. Obviously not always, but I like it.
keeping your lines consistent.
So Linus check called. pretty close. Again, having that 6 in your hand doesn't really help you because you block a couple of bluffs, but then again, those are quite, you know, those bluffs are generally quite weak, so Charlie will often check him behind. So let's see what happens. Linus improves to 3 pair or 2.5 pair.
I'm sorry, vulgar. So he just still has aces. Well, he has 10s and 7s with an ace. So there's a chance. His hands really doesn't look that great. I mean, it does. It's very interesting.
Charlie trying to figure.
So Charlie at this point is repping, you know, he's repping some aces, but not so many. He's repping mostly a 10 or a straight. So with pot behind, I think he should be shoving. I mean, there's exactly pot behind, and now he bets 1.6 million. I don't like this. So this is another weak play, I would say. Yeah, this is not a great play. Let's go back a few seconds. I'm gonna do it like that. Yeah, I can. Can I? Yeah. So here, I mean, he's saying he's got a very strong hand. He's got either trips, and probably better trips, or he's got a straight. And he's got pot behind, right? And he wants to pressure Linus because he has a shorter stack. I don't know what the other stacks look like, but he wants to pressure him. So everything leads us to wanting to bet large when there's exactly pot behind. So this sizing, I don't really like. This is kind of some kind of made up sizing, you know, because he thinks Linus has a certain range, or, you know, he's just looking at his hand. He's like, I want him to call because, you know, then I'm in a good spot. So I'll just bet smaller and force a call. So yeah, I don't like this play. I don't like this play. Charlie should just be shoving here or should be checking. And then as for Linus's play, I mean, if you want to bluff here, this hand is not the worst to bluff with since you block the full house. But obviously it's very easy to overdo this, right? Like betting with like check raising all your 6-7s, check raising maybe has like 9-7 that block the straight. I think Linus's play is okay, but the thing is, he's giving Charlie such an amazing price that you really have to like be careful with your bluffs. Otherwise, you know, you're just always bluffing. And then Charlie Carrel just absolutely has to call. I mean, he has to call. He can still fold some 10x. He can still fold bluffs. Linus could be playing I guess he doesn't have a straight because he would not check call. So Linus is mostly repping a full house. But yeah, I don't think. Yes, this hand doesn't block any full houses. In that sense, your hand isn't very good to call with. But I don't think we should fold that unless there's like really sick implications. Where let's say they're like 2 massive stacks, and you're just slightly shorter stack, and then the rest has like no stack, right? But then you should not be playing your hand aggressively anyway, and you're the one with the larger stack. So you could go busto and still at least be alive. So you said crazy bluff by Linus. This must then be a check shove.
Linus trying to think of some bluffs he beats. There are some, you know, the Jack 8, the Jack 9. Since it's a blind versus blind battle, Charlie could have floated the flop. X of spades. Play this way. Kings of spades.
He's gonna do it. Don't do it. If Linus knew Charlie's hand, he would definitely not be doing this. He's hoping that Charlie just folds a hand like Jack 9, or maybe folds a 10. Maybe Charlie has. Charlie could have maybe like an ace, and you know he's got like ace 9, and he wants, you know, he's making like a thin-ish value bet. Don't do it. Don't do it, Linus. Wow, it's pretty sick to like be completely live red, you know, laughing and everything, and then you go for the shove and look away. That takes balls for sure. And Charlie Carrel called. Okay. So yeah, Charlie Carrel called pretty quickly. I thought this was gonna be like a 10-minute tank, but Charlie called pretty quickly. So I think that's good. I was waiting for like the sick hero fold, and Linus has been eliminated. Okay, nice hand, Linus. Nice hand to both.